Hi YouTube, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. I saw a comment today on a YouTube video that I was watching, and I wish I could say that it's the only time I've ever seen this comment, but it's not. Um, Let me just start off with the title of the video, and I'll probably change it. But Black women shame other Black women for wanting marriage, and I'm going to explain that. Um, and I've mentioned before, over the years, I started seeing like this huge pulling away of marriage from Black women. And I have to say that Black women are by and large the main reason why the marriage rates are so low in our community. And I know somebody's eye is twitching right now, because men are the ones that ask the woman, to marry them. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but a lot of these women don't seem to realize that the very men that they're complaining about are the same men that they're raising. And I'm sure you've heard the term, if you're a mother of sons, you are raising somebody's husband, you are raising somebody's father. And I don't think that translates over into our community, let's be honest. Um, So this woman today said that Black women pedestalize marriage. And I was going to respond to her, but like I said, I've been down this road so many times before. Most women of every race, demographic, pedestalize marriage. But for some reason, when it comes to Black women, we are told it's not something that we should thrive for. In a lot of cases, many Black young ladies are being discouraged, are being discouraged from marriage altogether. So my thing is, if marriage isn't a priority, what do you think the alternative to that is? Because people are still out there knocking boots. Babies are still coming into these situationships and friends with benefit ships and casual sex ships. Children are still coming into those environments. So it's like, you mean to tell me a woman getting a husband that's going to be there for the children that he helped create is bad, but a child with Mookie and Ray Ray and Tyrone, oh, that's good? Because if you look at some of these videos, as I've mentioned before, calling into some of these dating shows and stuff like that, this one woman, I kid you not, she had 4 children by 4 different men, and she wasn't in a relationship with any of them. So when I hear some Black women say, I don't know why Black women pedestalize marriage, and marriage ain't the end all, the be all, and it's not a goal, and it's not every woman's desire, and blah blah blah. So what you're saying is, then you prefer the whole baby mama culture. That's what you prefer. And so okay, so going back to that comment, so she said that Black women pedestalize marriage. And if that's the case, then it would be more marriages within our community. And let me also say one thing that I've noticed about these women that say these things. What they're saying also is, if a Black woman does not marry a man, her ideal of a husband, her fantasy ideal of a husband, if you did not get Mr. over 6'2", 6, 7 figure salary, fine as heck, then you settle. Another thing that I've noticed with a lot of these women, if you're married, period, and you did not marry that, which is in their mind as like what a real marriage is and etc., then you settle. You're desperate, you're weak, you got pregnant first, so he had to marry you. It's like they find every negative pull down reason to shame Black women for wanting marriage. And there's nothing wrong for a woman not wanting marriage if that is your true desire. I mean, your literal true desire. But as I said in a previous video, a lot of the older women in particular, they're not being honest. They wanted marriage, it never happened for them. So they're busy trying to tell other women, well, if you want marriage, then you're in for some cheating. He gonna beat on you. All kinds of like worst case scenarios. So again, and I also want to say, and if I didn't mention it already, we as Black women, again, we are the main reason for the low marriage rates in our community because we uplift other scenarios, but marriage, oh, I mean, I've seen, if you don't believe me, check out some forums that are geared to Black women, and um, and check out the marriage threads, and you will see all kinds of, I'm not pressed. I've been with my man for 5, 10 years, and that's not every woman's goal. They're deceiving themselves. They're trying to convince themselves that they're happy in that state. Most women want to be married. I didn't say all, because you do have, you know, a small percentage of women who genuinely do not want to be married. But then you have a lot of women who are just parroting what other women are saying. A lot of young women are, peer pressure is a serious thing, and when you have, when I was, before I was married, I was vocal, but I come from a different generation too. I wanted to be married. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to be married. It does not mean that you are desperate. It doesn't mean that you settled. It doesn't mean that you're going through any heinous, things within your marriage. It's like those women go to the worst case scenario. So that leads me to believe that a lot of them are just trying to save face. And I also, want to also add, because this lady, she wrote this long story about, why marriage is bad in this one comment, And so she was saying something about, people be trying to tell Black women to get married but not pursue their careers and stuff like that. Ain't nobody telling Black women that. I said in a previous video, why can't you get your career and get married simultaneously? Why? What's happening is a lot of women, they're concentrating solely on their career. And a lot of times these so-called careers that a lot of these women be talking about, it don't even, I can see if they're doctors and lawyers and stuff like that, but they don't even be, what career are you talking about? And not knocking any type of jobs, whatever what's in your heart that you want, more power to you. But you're finding a lot of women, after they achieve everything in their life as far as their career, the money, the status, all of that stuff, they're going home to their pricey condo, because they all have pricey condos, or a mansion in the suburbs, but they're going to an empty home. And nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. My message, as I always say, is for women who want marriage. And I just would like to, let some of you young ladies know in particular, that there's another side, because right now, so many young ladies are being indoctrinated and, like force fed how horrible marriage is, and, and all of that stuff. But, try to balance it out. Look at the pros and cons, because as I've said before, there's going to come a time when you want marriage. Now you might be, thinking to yourself, I'm all that and a bag of chips, and I got 10 men in rotation right now. So girl, please, I ain't pressed. But child, it's going to come a day when you will be pressed. And then perhaps that's when the desperation or whatever does set in. You're not going to be like that when you're in your 20s, early 30s, because you are going to have more types of men to choose from. And I might as well go really, real briefly into why marriage is beneficial, because I plan to do a separate video for that. But marriage really is beneficial, but you have to vet properly. And you also have to keep some of the older, and again, it doesn't have to be older women. You just have to keep the peer pressure, even your family, out of your ear, because they will tell you whatever their experiences are. And I'm going to tell you something else. Those women with those experiences, they're not going to tell you what they did or didn't do in their marriage or relationship or why they never got married. They're not going to tell you. It's going to always be on the man. It's always the man's fault. And we need to, start being honest with ourselves, because women are not always innocent little lambs. And I'm seeing that all over the internet. And I was saying that 20 years ago. The women are always innocent and the men are the big bad wolves, but these women are the ones picking them, So, but as far as marriage goes, with the right one, that is protection from your husband. It's moral support. It's regular sex. It's companionship. It's a lot of things that goes into a good marriage. And another thing that I want to add is we as women set the tone of our home. And that's something that a lot of these women also are not going to say, because they be bringing into their homes strife and confusion and arguments. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to tell you what he did. But there's a way as a woman that you can squash things and tone it down. We're supposed to be the man's peace and calm. And I know for some women that's triggering because, they've been told, keep your foot on a man's neck because men ain't worthy and all of that stuff. But y'all need to stop listening to these women that hate men. You need to start looking at feminism for what it is. Feminism is the one that started this gender war, got husbands out of the home, and all of that stuff. But I hope I got everything out. When I, want to come forth with a video, it just be on and popping in my mind or whatever. But then when I'm like in front of the camera, it's like a deer in headlights. But anyway, if you got something out of this video, please like it. Please subscribe, share it. But if you're brand new, if you just happen across this channel or video, I encourage people to check out my other videos first, to make sure that we vibe. And I will talk to you later. Bye.